Again, my name is Dominique Bond, and I am founder and CEO of Ace Ambition, which is a youth platform that teaches young men about entrepreneurship, about financial education. And what I do is I help organize workshops every month that basically features entrepreneurs, financial educators that teach them the basics about financial literacy and entrepreneurship, marketing, and so forth. But I wanted to get on a subject that I think is always important, but is very important right now. Was being highlighted, and I also wanted to address a few things. And if you see me looking down, that's just me looking at my laptop, and I have some notes as well. But I really wanted to address a lot of things that's been bothering me with some of the things that I've been hearing. Some of the things that I've been seeing, whether it's on my timeline and so forth. And I just think that we just need more people having an understanding. I think people are lacking sensitivity towards what's being highlighted in the news. And that's very, very troubling, especially if we have people who been a victim, or I don't really like to using that term, but really a survivor who have experienced sexual harassment, sexual assault, been raped, been been molested, and so forth. And I actually know some people. I'm actually close with some people who have experienced these horrific situations, and I just think people are just not taking this serious, and that's very troubling to me. So I said the topic is how can men, and I'm just focusing on men. I mean, this can be geared on both sides, but I want to focus on the men right now. How can men help combat rape culture and victim blaming? So before I get into all that, I just want to read out some definitions in case people do not understand these two terms, because these two terms are very important. They've been passed around a lot, and some people don't quite understand what these terms mean. So I want to first get into the definition of rape culture. So what I'm reading right now is the definition of rape culture is a society or environment whose prevailing social attitudes have the effect of normalizing or trivializing sexual assault and abuse. So that's the definition for rape culture. And if you Google it and you look it up yourself, you'll probably see multiple definitions of rape culture. But that's just the definition that I'm reading. And on victim blaming. Victim blaming is a devaluing act where the victim of a crime, an accident, or any type of abuse or maltreatment is held as wholly or partially responsible for the wrongful conduct committed against them. Victim blaming can appear in the form of negative social reactions from legal, medical, mental health professionals, as well as from the media and immediate family members and other acquaintances. So this is something that a lot of people are just not understanding, and is really causing a lot of issues. And with everything that's being highlighted right now, I'm seeing a lot of people participating in rape culture. I'm seeing a lot of people doing a lot of victim blaming, and this is just unacceptable. So I'm gonna focus on a few things. There's several things that people can do, but once again, I'm just focused on the men right now. This can go both ways, but I'm just focused on the men because I really believe we really need to get in the habit of speaking up and supporting our women when it comes down to this. And I'm really disappointed in what I'm really seeing right now. So the first thing I want to address, number one, what I want to address is no particular order. Number one that I really want to address is hold each other accountable. Hold each other accountable. If you hear anything that's unacceptable, if you hear anything that's degrading towards women, if you hear anything that's just unacceptable, you need to call them out on it. Hold each other accountable. This can be your friend, this can be your partner, this can be family members, whatever the case may be. We got to get in the habit of holding people accountable. Like I said before, those you just joined in, I've been seeing people on my timeline. I've been seeing other videos. I've been hearing this stuff, and it's inexcusable. But what's really disappointing to me is not just seeing and hearing it, but some of these people are actually people that I associate with. Unfortunately, these are some folks that I associate with, and I'm gonna do my part, and I'm gonna speak them out on it, because it's unacceptable. And if these are people that we consider family, these are people that we consider friends, we need to call them out on it. And like I always say, is when it comes down to accountability, it doesn't always have to be attack. It doesn't always have to be in an attacking way. It doesn't always have to be so abrupt. It doesn't have to be so disrespectful. If it's coming from the heart, if your mindset and your attitude is focused on helping them understand that, look, this is not right, then I think they'll be more willing to be open to hearing what you have to say, and not just being open to hearing what you have to say, but understanding what you have to say as well, which is really important. So it's one thing to listen, but it's another thing to really take time out and really understand. So when you're holding people accountable, don't get in the habit of really attacking them. You know, I had to really take a moment and really digest everything, because I really got passionate. And if I would have addressed that as soon as I heard that or seen that, I would have came out the wrong way. So that's very important when you're really addressing people, you know, because like I said, this is something I'm very passionate about. And I know people, I actually know people who have experienced this, and it hits me a certain way when I hear this. So once again, hold people accountable. Number 2 is take folks serious. Take folks serious. If you hear this, you may know somebody who actually went through this. You may know someone who may have brought up a situation, and they may just think, you know what, it's nothing serious, what happened. But if you hear that and you say, look, nah, that's unacceptable, I think you need to take that serious. Don't just brush under the rug. Don't just say, you know what, I don't feel like going through this. I don't feel like talking to them about that. Really take time out and really digest what you just heard. Because someone just say, look, this is what just happened to me. Don't just walk away from that. Take it serious. They need that support. They need somebody to hear them out. And they may need somebody to tell them, like, look, what you just expressed is wrong. It's not right. It's wrong. It's not right. They may need to hear, like, look, you know, you're not alone. You know, and what this happened to you is not right at all. So we need to take that serious. So that's number 2. Take people serious when you hear it. Don't just take it as a joke. Number 3 is something I've seen a lot. Stop making jokes about this. This is not a game. This is not a game. All these allegations is being highlighted right now, and I'm seeing jokes on my timeline. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You can't tell me, you cannot look me in my eye and tell me, you know what, I understand. You know what, I support women, and women should not be going through this. You cannot look me in my eye and tell me all that and have the audacity to post a joke. That's unacceptable. And once again, I know some people doing that. And they need to be called out on it. But once again, understand what I said previously when it come down to holding people accountable. Don't attack them. Take time out and understand what you're going to address, what they did wrong, why it is wrong, and why it lacks sensitivity. These people, you just never know who you're around and who have experienced this. You never know who may have experienced this. You never know who have gone through this. You never know who they may know who have experienced this. And you have the audacity to post a joke about this. This is serious. It is no time to make a joke. It is no time to make people laugh. This is a serious situation. And I understand when it comes down to serious situations like this, when it come down to when it come down to sensitive topics, it may make people a little uncomfortable. But just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean, you know what, this is a time to joke around about it. This is a time for people to really support one another and say, you know what, this is not time to be joking around. Once again, if you're making jokes about this, you can't tell me that you understand what it means to be sensitive when it comes down to this topic. Once again, another thing, fathers, this is a critical time to be having a conversation with your son. I believe this is something that we are not having conversations and discussions about with our sons. It starts early. They need to understand at an early age that this is not right. They need to understand at an early age, no mean no. They need to understand at an early age what does consent mean. They need to understand at an early age what does it mean to respect people's space, physical space. They need to understand at an early age all of this, because it's too many men who don't understand this. And since you have a large number of men who don't understand this, that means we're not taking out time to teach our sons this. So if you have a son, I don't care how old he is, you need to begin having these conversations with them. If you don't believe that they're going to have an understanding, then you need to take time out to make sure they have an understanding. You need to break it down to them. And even if they don't understand, you need to start right now to get in the habit of addressing this. So while all these allegations are going on, you need to have this conversation and understand and explain to them what is sexual assault, what is sexual harassment, what is rape, what is domestic violence, and so forth and so forth. Have these conversations with your sons. They need to understand right now what it means. All right. The next thing is to continue to encourage and support women on this. Right now, it's too many women, and it's unacceptable that so many women just don't feel like they have the support, they don't feel like they have the encouragement, and that's just unacceptable. And we have to play our part in doing this. So that's why I'm doing this video right now. I don't care about how many likes I get. I don't care about how many views I get. I don't care about any of that. The fact of the matter is too many women who just don't feel like they have a voice right now. It's too many women right now who just don't feel like that's just not empowered to speak up. And it's too many women right now who have experienced this. And it's not enough men who are speaking up about this. So with this video, I want people to really hold people accountable. I want people to support one another. I want people to encourage one another. Stop when someone says this is what I went through. Your first response shouldn't be, well, what did you do? You know, what did you say? You know, the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what was said. The fact of the matter is, what occurred to them or what happened to them was unacceptable, and we have to support them. So with this video, there are plenty of things that I could have listed out. There's plenty of things that I could have listed. I'm just gonna list a few things, but I really wanted to post this video because there's not enough people who understand what this is. There's not enough people who understand the magnitude of what's really being highlighted, and we need more people speaking out on this. And I mean, and it's men and women, but right now, so no one gets it misconstrued. Right now, I'm just focused on the men. This can go both ways, but I'm just focused on what the men can do to combat this issue, because it is unacceptable. And I'm seeing so much of a lack of sensitivity, and it's unacceptable. So everyone who are viewing this, please share it so somebody else can see this. Please like my business page, Dominique Bond, and Ace Ambition. Support what I have going on, where I'm trying to educate these young men on entrepreneurship and financial education. It's not really about me. I really just give these educators, these entrepreneurs, and these financial educators a platform so they can teach these young men at an early age, you know, how to, or another option of when it comes down to starting a business and building wealth and financial literacy and so forth. So really click the share button. Please give me some feedback on this. Feedback is is highly encouraged. And once again, I appreciate you taking our time to view my video. Thank you so much and have a great night.